Hi, welcome to class. We're going to be working today into a little bit of a more quick paced flow, just to get the body a little bit warmer. If you feel that you usually use blocks for your practice, you're more than welcome to grab those, or anything that you feel that you generally use throughout your practice already. Um, we are going to get started in a seated position. A comfortable seated position, whatever that may mean for you. That can be cross-legged, can be sitting on tops of your shins, maybe placing a block beneath your sitting bones to elevate the hips a little bit more. And just close your eyes. Bring the chin slightly in towards the neck, elongate through the spine. Relax the hands wherever they land. Relax the shoulders. Relax the belly. Allow the tongue to hang heavy inside of the mouth. Relax the jaw. Relax the muscles surrounding the forehead. Begin to take notice of all parts of your body. Little by little, from the skin beneath your hair, the back of the head, the area surrounding the ears, the hairline, your forehead, the eyebrows, through to your eyes, your nose. Feel the breath as it enters your body through the nostrils. Your mouth, your lips, the chin, create a gentle constriction in the back of the throat, starting to work with the Ujjayi breath. Feeling the breath as it enters in through the nostrils, making its way down through the throat, into the lungs, into the diaphragm, expanding the belly, creating a balloon shape with your belly. And then feel the breath as it leaves your body. Feel the navel pulling in towards the spine, the ribs closing up, creating a type of hollowness in your entire body. Exhaling through the nose. Inhaling in through the nose. And exhaling. Inhaling through the nose, directing the breath all the way down to your belly, feeling that balloon expand inside of your belly. And exhaling through the nose, releasing any tension in the hips, in the knees, and the tops of the feet. Maintaining this equalization of inhalations to exhalations through the nose, maybe keeping the eyes closed, begin to invite small movements into your body. anything that the breath is asking for. These can be movements of the neck, of the shoulders, opening of the chest, bringing the chin in towards the chest, rounding through the spine, creating small twists, making the moves as dynamic as you want to, or as you feel that the body wants. By keeping the eyes closed in this situation, we're eliminating one of the senses. We're not focusing so much on the external, we're really just working from within. Without passing any judgment or setting any expectations for any shapes that we think we should be able to do or we want to be able to do. Really working from a place in the heart, using the breath to allow you to go just a tiny bit deeper in all of your movements. Allowing the breath to guide your movements. Maybe for you today, that means staying in one place for a long time in stillness. Maybe it means moving from side to side, creating giant circles with the arms. Maybe it means working into the spine, rounding through the back, opening the chest. A few more breath cycles here. With the next inhalation, maintaining these types of movements, whatever it is that the body is calling for, make your way into a tabletop position, bringing the knees below the hips, bringing the hands beneath the shoulders, gripping the mat with your fingertips, continuing to move where it feels good for you. Maybe even rubbing up against certain tensions that you feel are in your body. Not focusing on creating these exact precise shapes of cat cow, but really just moving with your breath. Noticing what happens with the breath as soon as you start to think about what it is that you're doing. Are you allowing the breath to still guide your movements? And with the next inhalation, tucking the toes, maintaining a bit of that movement. Maybe now you have opened your eyes. If not, maybe you can choose to blink your eyes open, gazing out in front of you, micro bending into the elbows, Shifting the weight forward, bringing the chest and chin down towards the floor, gazing forward. As you inhale, press the tops of the feet firmly into the floor. Shift the weight towards the front of the mat. Bring the hands in the form of a tent below your elbows. Open the legs wide. Press firmly into the tops of the feet. With the inhalation, begin to press yourself up. Active in the glutes. Gaze forward. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Stay here for the inhalation. Pull the chest forward. Pull the scapulae in towards one another. As you exhale, gently lower the forehead all the way down towards the floor. Readjust the hands, placing them under the shoulders, bringing the legs parallel to one another. Tuck the toes. Transition through a tabletop position all the way into a downward facing dog. Begin to work into your hips a little bit here, into the hamstrings. Again, incorporating any types of movements that you feel your body wants right now. This can be slight movements forward, waves of the spine, movements of the hips from side to side. Allowing the breath to guide you. With the next inhalation, ground into the left foot, press the right leg firmly up, keeping the hips squared, bend into the right knee, shift the weight forward, elevate the left heel off of the floor. Work the right knee in towards your nose, rounding through the spine. Inhale, extend the right leg, this time opening the hip, bending into the right knee. Working the right toes down towards the left elbow. Shoulders remain squared. Inhale here. Keep pressing the hands firmly into the floor. Exhale, come high up onto the left toes, pressing the left toes firmly into the floor, high up on the left heel. Begin to work the right knee in towards the right tricep. Stay here for the inhalation. As you exhale with control, begin to extend the right leg, keeping the right leg straight, working the left foot slightly back. So we're kind of in this pyramid shape with the legs, but the right leg is on the right side, on the outside of the mat. The left hand is towards the left side of the mat. The left leg is back behind us. As you inhale, keeping the hips squared, begin to twist from the spine, working the right arm overhead. Take an inhalation here. Grip the mat with your left fingertips. As you exhale, drop the right hand down, drop the left knee down. Begin to rotate the left foot out towards the back side of the mat. Extend through the right leg. Bring the left hand behind the right knee. Extend the right arm overhead. Inhale, gaze at your right fingertips. Exhale, drop the left glute down towards the left heel, walk the hands forward. Right leg is extended, right foot is parallel with the front of the mat. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, walk the fingertips further forward, keeping the elbows up, active in the arms. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, elongate the spine, gaze forward, begin to raise the hips, walk the hands over towards the right foot. Press the right heel into the floor, bring the left heel back behind you. So coming into a half split, half Hanumanasana, with the right heel over towards the right. Maybe you come up onto your fingertips, maybe you walk the hands towards your left knee, underneath the shoulders. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, elongate the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, walk the hands on the outside of the right leg now. So starting to create even more of a twist, extending the entire left side body. Hips are square facing the front of the mat. Inhale, gaze out in front of you. Exhale, bending down. Right leg is active, right leg is straight, right heel is pressing into the floor. Inhale, coming all the way back up. This time, bringing the arms with you. Exhale, bend into that right knee. Shift the weight forward. So now coming into a bit of an Vinyasa, low lunge with the right knee open, right toes open towards the right side. Left hip is facing forward. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center, tuck the back toes, come high up on the back toes. Extend the arms overhead, begin to straighten through the right leg. Left toes pressing into the floor, hips facing forward. So we're basically doing a bunch of movements with the right toes open towards the right side. So we're starting to really focus on balance here. Keep the belly engaged, keep active in the right thigh. Inhale. Exhale, begin to drop the left hand down towards the mat, underneath the left shoulder. Right foot is still spinning open. Bring the right arm overhead. Hips are squared. Inhale. Exhale, rotate the back foot. Begin to walk the hands over towards the left foot. Walk the right foot in so that it's parallel with the left. Both hands on the outside of your left ankle. As you inhale, elongate the spine. And then as you exhale, begin to bow down. Maybe working the right elbow down towards the floor, shifting the weight into your toes. Inhale here. Exhale, coming all the way back up, extending the arms out in front of you. So wide-legged with the legs and arms extended out like downward facing dog. Keep walking the hands forward. Keep bowing down with the head. Keep the weight in the front of the feet. Take an inhalation. Invite again as little or as much movement as you want to in this pose. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, slowly walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Pivot the front foot, opening into that hip. Walk the right hand to the inside of the right foot, maybe staying up on the fingertips. Extend the left arm overhead, coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana on the right. Hips are squared. Hips are stacked, rather. Hips are open towards the side of the mat. Maybe you gaze towards your left fingertips. Stay here or begin to bind your left hand to the inside of your right thigh. Stay here, gazing down towards your right big toe, or begin to extend the right arm out in front of you, working the arm parallel with the floor. Stay here or begin to extend the right arm overhead, coming into a reverse triangle. Extending the right arm rather back towards the left foot. Inhale. Exhale, keeping the bind with the left arm. Pivot onto the left toes. Right arm out in front of you. Exhale, bowing down. Keeping that right arm out in front of you. Keeping the torso in line with the floor. Stay really active in the legs here. Pull the inner thighs in towards one another. Take an inhalation. Exhale, extend the left arm in front of you, bend into the right knee, bring the right hand back behind you, coming into an exalted crescent. Inhale, open the entire left side body. Exhale, bringing the hands through heart center, transitioning through horse pose, coming into Skandasana on the left. Extending the left arm away from your right arm overhead. Stay really active here, gaze at your right fingertips. As you exhale, maybe you go deeper into a bind. Bringing the hands together back behind you, opening through the heart, opening the chest. Gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, release the bind, bring the hands together in front of your heart. Begin to drop the hips down towards the floor. Bring the left knee down onto the floor. You reposition yourself onto the mat. The weight is on top of the left foot. Left knee is bent, working its way in towards the right knee. Maybe you move the glutes out of the way a little bit here. Inhale, elongate the spine, bring the arms overhead, flex through the right toes. Exhale, bowing down. Keep the spine long, keep gazing at your right big toes. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. And exhale, if you'd like to, we're going to work into a small back bend here. So bring the hands back behind you, fingertips facing you. Begin to bend into the elbows. Bring your left hand to your left foot. Maybe you bring yourself all the way down. Bringing the hands to opposing elbows. Staying really active in the right leg in order to protect the lower back. Make sure that the glutes remain active. Pull the inner thighs in towards one another. One more inhalation here. As you exhale, bring the elbows onto the floor. Bring yourself all the way back up. Walk the hands forward. Bring the left hand under the left shoulder. Extend the left arm, left leg away from you. Bring the right arm overhead, coming into a revolved half moon. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand down onto the floor with control. Bring the left foot down to meet the right. Big toes to touch, heels slightly separate. Maybe you bring the blocks underneath your arms here. Inhale, elongate the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, bend into the knees, drop the belly to the top of the thighs, release the head. Inhale as you gaze forward, elongate the spine. And exhale. Moving in those cat-cow kind of movements with our back, gazing forward. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, gluing the belly on top of the thighs. Inhale, gazing forward, elongating the spine. And exhale. Inhaling, gazing forward. Exhale, bend into the knees slowly and with control. Begin to drop the hips down towards the floor, bringing the sitting bones with control down towards the floor. Bring the arms overhead at the same time. Begin to extend the legs coming into Navasana. Inhale here. And exhale. See if you can bring the legs up a little bit higher. Active in the legs, active in the toes. Inhale. Exhaling with control, bringing the arms back behind you, coming into a variation of Halasana. Bringing the legs overhead, working towards straightening through the spine. Again, really active in the legs. Inhale here. Exhale, crossing the feet, shifting the weight forward, coming into tabletop. Returning back into those movements, whatever feels good for you. So moving from side to side, maybe even closing the eyes again, reconnecting with the breath, reconnecting with the sensations you're experiencing in your own body, noticing what's happening with your mind throughout practice. Do you find yourself thinking a lot? And maybe taking the opportunity now to just check in instead of checking out, trying to really, really focus on being present on the mat. Being present for yourself. And with the next inhalation, coming into a neutral spine, tucking the toes. Gently drop the belly, gaze forward. As you exhale, begin to lift the hips, working the heels towards the floor, coming into downward facing dog. Adjusting yourself as needed here.
working with your breath, inviting or continuing to invite the movements that your body is asking for. Maybe shifting from side to side, maybe bending into the knees, shifting the weight forward, creating movements of your spine, elongating the hamstrings. With the next inhalation, press the right foot firmly into the floor, bring the left leg overhead, hips are squared. Exhale, shift the weight forward, bring the left knee to nose. Inhale, extend the left leg, this time stacking the hips, bending into the left knee, opening the hips. Maybe you gaze over your right arm towards your left foot. Right knee is facing forward, shoulders are squared. Take an inhalation here. Keep pressing the hands into the floor. Exhale, keeping that bend in the knee. Shift onto the right toes. Shift the weight forward, bringing the left knee in towards the left tricep. With control, drop the left foot on the outside of your left hand. Stay high up on the back toes. Press the right hand into the floor. Inhale, coming into this wide-legged pyramid variation. Take an inhalation, gaze at your left fingertips, hips are squared. Exhale, drop the back knee down onto the floor. Keeping the left heel rather firmly into the floor. Open slightly into the left foot, shift the weight forward. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. So sort of an Anjaneyasana, a low lunge with the left leg, left foot open rather. Left knee is following the left toes. Hips, the right hip is kind of facing forward and the left hip is open up. So we're really working into the right hip flexor especially. Stay active in your belly. Keep extending the arms. Take an inhalation. Exhale, bring the hands down towards the floor. Extend through the left leg, flex through the left toes. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bowing down. Half splits with the hands on the inside of the left foot. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, walking the hands over towards the left side of the outside of the left leg, gazing towards the front. As you exhale, bowing down here. Inhale, coming back up. Walking the hands to the inside of the leg again, pressing into the left heel, press the left hand on the inside of the left foot, rotate the right foot behind the right knee. Walk the right hand towards the back of the mat, extend through the left leg, extend the left arm towards the back. Coming into gate pose. Keep extending the left hand. Feel the left side body opening up. Take an inhalation, tuck the tailbone in. As you exhale, slowly begin to transition the left foot. So now it's parallel with the front of the mat. Bring the right glute down towards the right heel. Walk the hands out in front of you. Bowing down, maybe staying up on the fingertips, keeping the elbows elevated. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, rising back up, walking the hands towards the left foot, pivoting all 10 toes towards the front of the mat, pressing the right hand into the floor, bending into the left knee. Inhale, brings the left arm overhead. Gaze at your left fingertips. Take an inhalation, expand the chest. Exhale, bringing the right hand out in front of you, extending the left arm overhead, coming into a revolved half moon with the right leg back behind you. Gaze at the left fingertips, hips are squared, stay active in the back leg. As you exhale, bring the right foot down, Bring the right arm overhead, bringing the right fingertips up, coming into an exalted crescent. Inhale, feel the entire right side body expanding high up on the back toes, sinking the hips down. Exhale, hands through heart center, coming into Skandasana on the right. Maybe interlacing the arms behind you, gazing over your left shoulder. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, unwind slowly and with control, drop the left hip down onto the floor, bring the right knee in. Readjust yourself. The top of the right foot is placed on the floor. Inhale, arms overhead, flex through the left toes. Exhale, bring the hands down towards your left foot, bowing down. Inhale, gaze at your left toes. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands back behind you, coming onto the fingertips, pressing the right hand on top of the right foot, coming on to the left elbow, maybe coming all the way down, bringing hands to opposing elbows behind your head. Stay active in the straightened leg. Keep pressing the right sitting bone down. Make sure that the hips aren't shifting over towards the left. Hips are squared, both pressing into the floor. One more inhalation here. Exhale. Inhale, bring the hands back down onto the floor, elbows pressing into the mat, taking any tension off of the lower back. Shift the weight forward, bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot, pivot the back foot coming into a Trikonasana on the left. Gaze at your right fingertips, take an inhalation here. Exhale, interlace the right hand towards the inside of your left thigh. Gaze down towards your left big toe. Inhale, raise the left arm over, out in front of you rather. Take an inhalation, keep stacking the hips, opening them towards the side. Exhale, coming all the way up, coming into a revolved triangle pose with the right arm interlaced behind the left thigh. Inhale here. Exhale. Transitioning all the way into a crescent lunge, gazing forward. Exhale, bring your hands down towards the mat, elevate the back foot, flex through the back foot, bring your big toes to touch. Take an inhalation, gaze forward. And you exhale with a slight bow down of the head, releasing the knees, maybe grabbing opposing elbows, allowing yourself to shift a bit from side to side. Knowing what movements your body is asking for, knowing that you always have your breath to guide your movements. Inhale. And exhale. Returning back to the Ujjayi breath, or if you feel that there's tensions that you'd like to let go, you're always more than welcome to exhale through the mouth. Inhale, press the fingertips into the floor, gaze forward, elongate the spine. Exhale, press the hands into the floor with control, walk the feet towards the back of the mat, shifting the weight forward, coming through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Press the left heel into the floor. Inhale, bring the right leg overhead. Exhale, bend into the right knee, open the hip. Shift the weight forward, come high onto the left toes, bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Back up the left leg, coming into lizard lunge. Inhale as you gaze forward. Exhale, interlacing the arms, bringing the hands behind your back. Take an inhalation here, gaze forward, and as you exhale, drop the hips slightly further down. Keep pressing firmly into the floor with your toes. Another inhale. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Keep bending into that right knee, sinking the head down. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, pivot the back foot, walk the hands towards the side of the mat, coming into that wide-legged stance with the arms extended out in front of you. Downward facing dog with the arms, wide-legged stance with the legs. Take an inhalation, elongate the spine. Exhale, shift the weight into your toes, bowing the head down. Inhale, walking the hands back through center, pivoting the right foot open. Walk the hands back towards the front, high up on the left toes with control, coming into that L shape with the legs. Gaze out in front of you. As you exhale, bend into the left knee, bend into the right knee, coming into a Shiva squat. Extend the right leg towards the right, towards the left leg towards the right. Inhale, bringing the left leg back behind you, squaring the hips. You can use the box here under your hands if you'd like. Exhale, bending into both knees, and then extending the left leg back towards the right. One more like this, inhale. Exhale, bending into both knees with control. Place the top of the left foot onto the mat, bringing your sitting bones down onto the floor, coming into Gomukhasana with the legs. Knees stacked on top of one another, both sitting bones firmly placed into the floor. Inhale, bring the right arm overhead, bend into the right elbow. Bring the left elbow, bring the left arm back behind you, bringing both arms to touch. Maybe using a strap here if you feel that the hands can't come together. Opening the heart, opening the chest. If the right hip is elevated, place a block or a blanket or a pillow underneath it. Bring the floor closer to you. Take another inhalation here. Elongate the spine. Exhale, release the arms. Press firmly into the right big toe. Bring the hands towards the left side. Bringing yourself all the way up to standing, facing the back of the mat with the feet open wide. Begin to walk the hands forward, at the same time bend into the knees, coming into a kind of malasana. So arms extended out in front of you, head hangs heavy. Hips are making their way down, legs are at about a 90-degree. Inhale. Exhale, coming all the way down into Malasana. You squat, bring your hands together in front of your heart. Press the hands, the elbows into your inner thighs, elongate the spine. One more inhalation here. Exhale, slowly lowering the hips down towards the floor, coming back into that Navasana shape. Maybe making your way towards the back of the mat. So now we're facing the back of the mat. The legs are extended, the arms are overhead. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, coming into that halasana shape. So bringing the arms overhead, working your toes into the palms of your hands. And staying here, gripping your feet with your hands, or maybe you extend the arms even more. Start walking the toes towards your elbows. Wherever you are, be okay with that today. Feel the extension happening in the hamstrings. One more inhalation here. And as you exhale, cross the feet, shift the weight forward, come back into tabletop, facing the back of the mat. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Again, inviting whichever movements it is that you want into your practice. from side to side. Maybe you stick with the cat-cow. Maybe you start moving a bit more into the neck, into the shoulders. Allow your breath to move you. Tuck the toes. With the next inhalation, drop the belly, gaze forward. And with the next exhalation, gently press into the heels, work the hips up, coming into downward facing dog, still facing the back of the mat. Again, inviting the movements that you need. Press the right heel into the floor. Inhale, extend the left leg, bend into the left knee, open the left hip. Shoulders are squared facing the front of the mat. Keep opening that hip. Come high onto the right toes. Shift the weight forward. Bring the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Walk the right foot back. Coming into a lizard lunge, whichever you want to choose. I'm going to go with a bind. You can go with the arms extended away from you, hands underneath the shoulders, hands, elbows on the floor. Keeping the right hip down. Inhale, keep the right shoulder down. Exhale, extend the arms away from you, working the head closer down towards the floor. Another inhalation. Exhale, walk the hands towards the side of the mat, returning back into that wide-legged downward facing dog stance. Keep working the tailbone up. Another inhalation here. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, coming all the way back up, walking the hands towards you, pivoting onto the left big toe, facing towards the back of the mat, walking the hands forward, coming into that L shape. Gaze out in front of you. Bend into the right knee, bend into the left knee, Shiva squat, extend the right leg towards the left side. Inhale, extend the right leg back behind you. Exhale, Shiva squat with the leg extension. Inhale, extend the leg behind you. And exhale, bend into the knee, shift the leg out back behind you. Now, bring the right knee back behind you, bring the top of the right foot onto the floor slowly, bring both of the sitting bones onto the floor. Coming into Gomukhasana legs. So readjust yourself accordingly. If the left hip is up, bring something like a block or a blanket under your left glute. Bring the left arm overhead, bend into the left elbow. Bring the right arm out towards the side, rotate the arm, bend into the right elbow, bring the hands together to touch behind you. You can use a strap here if you'd like. Use your head to open your shoulder, open your heart and chest. Take an inhalation and exhale. Oftentimes working into the hips can cause a little bit of tension in the jaw. So it is useful to exhale through the mouth sometimes in these poses. Another inhalation and exhale. Slowly unwind the arms, bring yourself towards the right side of your body, bowing the head down. Inhaling, coming up, keep walking the hands, press the left big toe into the floor, shift yourself into a wide-legged stance. Bring the heels so that they're in line with one another, toes facing away from one another. Start walking your hands forward at the same time, bend into your knees, pull the hips back. So as though you're trying to sit down, but the hands are walking forward, release the head. Another inhalation here. Exhale, coming all the way into Malasana. Inviting whatever movement you like here, maybe from side to side, releasing the shoulders, opening the heart. With control, dropping the sitting bones down towards the floor, extending the legs, this time arms alongside the legs, coming into Navasana. In Navasana, in this case as well, you can bend into the knees, keeping the hands behind your thighs. You can work towards straightening one leg and then the other. Inhale. Keep extending the spine, keeping the spine really long. Keep the chin slightly tucked in. As you exhale, coming into a low boat. Keep the lower back glued onto the floor. Inhale, coming into Navasana. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, Navasana. Exhale, low boat. Inhale, Navasana. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Stay here for 5 breaths. Keep extending the legs. Keep gluing the inner thighs in towards one another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With control, release the entirety of the body. Release the arms alongside your body. Release the back of the head. Release the belly. Allowing yourself to sink down into the final pose, into Shavasana. Reconnecting with your breath. Reconnecting with the sensations of your body. Knowing that you can stay here as long as you would like to. You may feel like you have to go somewhere, but that was quite a fiery practice with a lot of movement. Giving the body and the mind some time to relax before moving on with your day would really be beneficial. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time. Namaste.